Hey Eagles fans, did you know that we have an Eagles only channel here at Chat Sports? All you gotta do is go to youtube.com/Eagles now for all the latest Eagles news and rumors. If you're wondering what that looks like, we're going to play a little sneak peek of that channel for you guys right now. Hey Eagles fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into Philadelphia Eagles Now, and today, the Philadelphia Eagles are rumored to be interested in a running back, so we'll give you 4 free agent options the Eagles could sign right now to bolster their running back position. We'll go ahead and start with what seems to be the fan favorite right now, although I'll explain why it's kind of confusing. LeSean McCoy, yes, the former Eagle running back. We've talked about him before here on the channel. Apparently, LeSean McCoy keeps saying he wants to be a Philadelphia Eagle, and could this actually be a reality? Pump the brakes a little bit. Here's the problem with LeSean McCoy. He's old and he's slow. So here's the whole deal. He has lost a lot of his former speed. Remember the old Shady McCoy that a lot of us used to love when he was in a Philadelphia Eagle uniform wearing the number 25? That's basically gone. So much so that Andy Reid, the head coach who drafted him and then re-signed him to the Chiefs, had LeSean McCoy as a healthy scratch in Super Bowl 54. Think about that. He literally thought that there were better players on the team that played better positions than the running back spot, to the point that he did not even dress LeSean McCoy for Super Bowl 54. And the numbers really show that. The problem is, of course, that despite the numbers and despite the age and despite the fact that McCoy has slowed down, the Eagles still need to go ahead and add a running back, as I said at the very beginning. And before I show you what LeSean McCoy actually said to the media a couple of days ago about his want to be an Eagle, here's what the current running back depth chart looks like and why we're even doing this video. So yes, Miles Sanders is the #1 running back. No one on this list, if the Eagles signed him, would go ahead and supplant Miles Sanders as the #1 overall running back. He's going to be there. And yes, Corey Clement and Boston Scott are 2 very good undrafted free agents who have showed their worth at times in a Philadelphia Eagle uniform, but you can kind of see that both of them aren't exactly the best #2 options, and why the Eagles would want to go ahead and get a #2 guy to go ahead and squeeze in there behind Miles Sanders to share some carries and hopefully have the Eagles towards the top end of the NFL in terms of yards per game from the running back. So I mentioned LeSean McCoy, I mentioned he's old, I mentioned he's a healthy scratch, and yet here we are still talking about the fact that he wants to be a Philadelphia Eagle, and he said this to the media just a couple of days ago, quote, "On another note, since I left, you haven't seen the 25 active in green. So you never know. I'm going to keep my options open, though. I could see myself there in Philly. Like I said, that's home, so you never know." Now, the problem again with LeSean McCoy, and we're going to move on to other running backs here in a second, is the fact that the LeSean McCoy that Eagle fans know is not the LeSean McCoy the Eagles would sign right now if they were to get him. Look at his 2013 stats. This is the peak of LeSean McCoy's career. 314 carries, 1,607 yards. That's just running, and 9 touchdowns. He averaged 100 yards per game on the ground and actually had 2,000 all-purpose yards back in 2013. That's the LeSean McCoy we wish we could have. This is the LeSean McCoy now that we would have. This is his 2019 stats in Kansas City, where Kansas City really doesn't have a very good running back. That's why they drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the first round. It shows that McCoy couldn't really give it on the football field. 101 carries, 465 yards, 4 touchdowns. That is just not enough to throw money at, despite the fact it would be very little money to go ahead and bring in an aging a running back who would be the 3rd best running back on this team behind Corey Clement, maybe even the 4th best running back on this team behind Boston Scott. Now, forget about LeSean McCoy, focus on the running back position for this question. First question of the day, do you think the Eagles need to sign another running back? Not asking about LeSean McCoy, I'm saying sign another running back in general. Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, moving on. Now, LeSean McCoy is kind of the fan favorite, the one that tugs at your heart. How about some options that would actually make a lot more sense, starting with Carlos Hyde? We talked about Carlos Hyde a couple of days ago here on the channel. If you missed that video, let's go ahead and reiterate it. Carlos Hyde is 30 years old, yes, but he's coming off the best year of his entire NFL career in Houston. Literally the best year of his entire NFL career. And apparently, according to Adam Kaplan, the Eagles have expressed a lot of interest in wanting to sign Carlos Hyde. Now, before I show you what Adam Kaplan said, we want you guys to subscribe to Philadelphia Eagles Now, because we're like 250 subs away from 10,000 subscribers, which is unreal, a massive number. It's all because of you guys. I'd greatly appreciate if you guys just scroll down right now while I'm talking. Just scroll down with a little scroll wheel and click the red subscribe button. That way you can help us get to 10,000 subs. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and show you what Adam Kaplan said that makes me believe Carlos Hyde is the #1 option for the Eagles to sign right now at the running back spot. Adam Kaplan, quote, "They want to sign a veteran running back. The guy that I know they have some interest in, we'll see if it happens, a guy that's really talented. The Eagles, I'm told, have interest in him. It's a really weird sentence. I'm told Hyde is a guy they are targeting. There you go. Carlos Hyde, straight from Adam Kaplan's mouth, a guy very connected in and around the world, the National Football League. I would love Hyde. I think Hyde is the perfect fit. He's the best out of these 4 running backs that I'm going to show you, and I'll show you why. Listen, here's 2019. Here's his best career as a running back. 245 carries, 1,000 yards, and 6 touchdowns. But really, if you look at his past 4 seasons and throw them all up next to each other, they're all really good. It's not like you had one good year and a bunch of bad years. 1,000 yards in 2019. 2018 was kind of an injury year. He didn't play his normal snaps. You see 571 yards, but then right back at it in 17 and 16 with 938 yards and 988 yards. This is a guy who can still play, and behind a very good offensive line like Philadelphia would be an incredible 1-2 punch alongside Miles Sanders. You're talking about 1A and 1B, really. You have to get Carlos Hyde the ball a lot because he's shown ball in his hands, he can absolutely ball out. Now, this should be an easy question for you, but if you still love the idea of LeSean McCoy, then prove it. Pick one, Hyde or McCoy. Who would you rather have? Type H down below for Hyde. Type M down below for McCoy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Okay, moving on. Some other names to be a little bit cheaper, and names you would recognize that are being thrown out there. How about the Falcons' Devonta Freeman, or the former Falcon Devonta Freeman? The problem with Devonta Freeman, much like LeSean McCoy, is that he's just not his former self. Now, injuries are the reason. McCoy has been relatively healthy during his career.17 Freeman the past couple of years has not. Only played 2 games in 2018. And when healthy, I guess, has similar play style to Jay Ajayi. That's what you would think about here if you wanted to go ahead and get Devonta Freeman. But I just don't trust Freeman to actually stay healthy. As like I said, those injuries have played a significant role and the reason why the Falcons cut him this offseason. Now, we mentioned Ajayi. Again, very similar play style and very similar years when you look at their 2 years in 2017 when both running backs were playing very, very well. Remember, 2017 was Ajayi's year, traded to the Eagles. He was the Dolphin, and Freeman had a good year that year as well. Ajayi, 208 carries, 873 yards, and a touchdown. Freeman had 196 carries, 865 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So that's the Freeman you would hope to get if you were to sign him. The problem is the Freeman you would most likely get is this one with all these injuries. 2018, he had a pedal foot bruise alongside a sports hernia, which basically ruined his entire 2018 campaign. 2017, he had an MCL and PCL sprains and 2 concussions. He also had multiple injuries in 2016 and 2015. He just cannot seem to stay healthy and on the field for any length of time, which to me would make him someone I would not want to look at if I was the Eagles unless I could be guaranteed he's going to play at least 12 games this year, 10 games this year. What's the number you would need to get your return on investment in terms of Devonta Freeman? Now, I asked earlier, do you think the Eagles need to get another running back? If you want to double down on that, give me a thumbs up. Should the Eagles sign another running back? Just click that like button here, and that will show me again how many of you guys agree with me that I think the Eagles should go ahead and add one more running back. Final one on here, and a name, again, that makes a lot of sense, a guy who's played alongside Carlos Hyde, is Lamar Miller. Now, Miller just turned 29 years old, so he's getting a little bit old there in terms of a running back, but the reason why he remains unsigned is because he wants a little bit too much money, and he's coming off of a torn ACL. Didn't play in 2019, had a very bad ACL injury in preseason, but is a very good zone running back. The Eagles love this running the zone run plays, not the zone read, the zone run plays with the zone blocking schemes up front with Brandon Brooks and Jason Kelsey. So he would make a lot of sense in terms of scheme fit. The problem is his past couple of years just can't really stay healthy. And again, the stats are there, but coming off of an ACL injury in 2019 for a running back is a little bit scary, and why I have him down here at number 4 on the list. Now, out of these 4, which running back should the Eagles sign? I want you guys to go ahead and pick one of them and let me know. Now, if you don't want them to just do sign a running back, then let me know as well. But if you had to pick from this 4, which would you get? We'll throw the 4 up on the screen again one more time. LeSean McCoy, Carlos Hyde, Devonta Freeman, and Lamar Miller are your 4 options right now. That's basically it. I see people going, what about LeGarrette Blount? Or, oh my goodness, what about Marshawn Lynch? Neither of those players are probably going to be playing in 2020. Forget about both of them. These are your 4 most likely. If you go for LeSean McCoy, who has the Eagle ties, and a lot of us probably have his jersey hanging up in our room somewhere. At one point had a LeSean McCoy jersey. You go for Carlos Hyde, who is probably the best running back on this list, probably the most expensive running back on this list. You go for Devonta Freeman because he reminds you of an Eagle running back who helped you win a Super Bowl in Jay Ajayi, or do you go with Lamar Miller, who is coming off of an injury, but still has shown to be a dangerous running back in the backfield for the Houston Texans and could also be one for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me know which one you guys think the Eagles should go ahead and sign. There you go. Listen, do the Eagles have to sign a running back? The answer obviously is no. They don't have to do anything. Should the Eagles sign a running back? For the right price, I think it'd be very, very beneficial to this football team to have an established starter come in and be the backup behind Miles Sanders, who can also help Miles Sanders continue to grow. Miles Sanders is only in his second year and still has a lot of growing to do despite his fantastic year back in 2019. So we'll see what happens, but I wanted to get you guys a list here of who the Eagles could sign if they were going to go ahead and sign a running back. There you go. All the time we have for today on Philadelphia Eagles Now, keeping you guys covered all the latest Eagles news and rumors. Probably going to be answering the mailbag questions tomorrow and over the weekend, so stay tuned for those because hopefully your question will be answered. Like I said, all the time we have for today. For Philadelphia Eagles Now, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off for the rest of your day.